What's up, YouTube? James here, and today we're going to talk about the hot topic of the hour, and that is the transgender in the military ban. Now, I don't know what your sexual preference is. I don't know what your lifestyle preference is. I don't know who you support, who you don't support. And today I'm not here to figure that out. I'm here to start a conversation. I'm here to give you a perspective of my own. And I'm hoping that maybe the average person's not as dumb as the media is that's reporting all this shit. Now, what I'm going to start with is very simple, and the first thing that I'm going to say is this. And I want you to hear me very clearly. If you have never been to boot camp, if you've never been to a military school, if you've never wore the uniform of the United States military, if you've never been deployed to war training, or anything dealing with the military, then you have no opinion. You have no rights. You have no say-so. You need to keep your mouth shut. You have not earned the right to dictate anything about the military, how it's ran, what their objective is, or why they are what they are. You have not earned the right to criticize or any other thing dealing with the military. Period. See, what you people fail to realize is 98% of our military are following orders. Their job is to do what they are told to do. Our military is based off structure, rules, regulations that are designed to keep our people safe and to make their living arrangements as comfortable as possible considering the environment that they're put in daily. If you have no respect for soldiers, you have no respect for what they do, then please keep your mouth shut. Because you need to remember one thing. Our military sacrifice everything for you. They sacrifice time with their families. They sacrifice finding better jobs that can pay their bills. They sacrifice their lives so you can be safe, so you can live free and run your mouth about stupid shit, so you can put stupid shit on the computer, so you can cry about stupid shit that hurts your feelings. They give you that right by sacrificing their lives. What gives you the right to criticize the way that organization is ran when you've sacrificed nothing? But transgender people have rights. Do they? Of course they do. Every human being has rights. But if you go to a third world country, what rights do they have? None. America is changing. Some say for the better, some say for the worse. It depends on your personal belief, what your religious beliefs are, what your moral beliefs are. America is going through what they really consider a social experiment, if you must. All these rights of people, all these people's feelings getting hurt. Well, last time I checked, we're all adults. And just because somebody may not agree with what you're doing or approve of what you're doing doesn't change the fact of who you are. It doesn't change the way you live your life. It doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is what you think and what makes you happy. But the one place that doesn't matter is the military. The military is not a social experiment. The military is not a place for social experiment, and it's not a place for this conversation. The military is a very serious deal. They have to be combat ready at all times. They have to trust that the person watching their back has got their back. They have to trust that if something happens to them on the battlefield, their partner can carry them off that field. They have to trust that the person with them is emotionally stable. and ready to go. Now let's be honest. War sucks. War can mess anybody's brain up. How many of our soldiers come back with PTSD as it is? How many of our soldiers have enough mental problems right now and have enough trust issues as it is? Stop trying to turn the military into this, whatever you're trying to turn it into. It has to have the rules, the regulations, it has to have the dynamic that it has to be successful. So until you have earned that right to give an opinion about how the military should be ran, you need to stay out of it. Because I'm telling you what, I was in the military when the policies by Clinton were put in place allowing gays into the military. Now let's be understanding that gays were already in the military. They just wasn't open about it. And I'm telling you what, it shook things up. There was a lot of conversation, a lot of mistrust. There's a lot of misplaced anger. There's a lot of people, especially people that are religious, that didn't agree with it. And they said all the things that people are used to saying. I don't want that faggot looking at me in the shower. Well, I don't want him behind me in the field. I don't want him bunking with me in a truck. You know what? We got through it. It was easy to deal with. But I'm telling you right now, transgender is a whole nother thing. Because you're talking about breaking one rule of the military that's always been there. No cohabitation. Men and women cannot be in the same barracks. They cannot cohabitate. You're talking about building new facilities or reconstructing facilities for bathroom arrangements, living arrangements, travel arrangements. It's going to change, and it's going to cost a lot of money that the military doesn't have to accommodate this. The military is not going to pay for that. Anybody that takes the oath agrees to the rules and regulations set forth in front of them. When you raise that right hand, you agreed to follow the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You agreed to live your life as a United States soldier. Period. And nowhere in that does it say, unless you are. Because once you take that oath and put on that uniform, that's who you are. You are a soldier. They tell you in basic training you're not black, white, yellow, green, or any other color except for green. You're all green. You're all military. If you can't follow those simple rules, if you can't live your life as a soldier and follow the rules, then you don't need to be in the military. And until the military is able to make that transition, where they're able to make the necessary changes to accommodate for transgender, then it's a non-issue because the military isn't going to change their rules. And criticizing them is not the right answer. Now let's talk about the other elephant in the room when it comes to transgenders in the military. And I don't know what your personal thought is, and maybe you can share it with me. But all studies have pointed to the fact that transgenders have mental issues. Suicide rates are high, especially if they go through the transgender complete reassignment surgery. And we don't need people with mental issues going into the military, going to war, and getting worse mental issues. Because I'm telling you right now, war already creates enough mental issues. And if you're already unstable, that's the last place you need to be. Now, I don't know if the studies are true. I don't know if the facts are true. But I'm saying, based on information that I read, that I wouldn't want somebody that's already on the edge watching my back. But if they are mentally stable, if all this is bullshit, then they need to come up with the scientific studies to back it up. They need to counter whatever intelligence they have to prove a point. Now, I personally don't care one way or the other what your sexual identity is or what your preference is. Doesn't bother me. What I do care about is the lashing that the military is getting over this. What I care about is people turning our military into a social experiment. What I care about is the disrespect that our military already gets because our soldiers aren't even taken care of as it is. Our suicide rate for our soldiers is astronomical. Our depression rates, our disability rates, the amount of time it takes for a soldier to get to the VA. We have enough issues with our military and the way they're being treated without adding this to it. Now, I know a lot of my friends don't agree with me, and that's fine. But you got to understand how serious this is. You got to understand that this isn't something that's going to change overnight. And one president isn't going to change it. One term of office doesn't change things because the military is not set up for it. Now, change will come. It's just a matter of when, not if. So what's your thoughts, guys? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, like my videos, share my videos, subscribe to my channel. If I pissed you off, let's talk about it. If I made you think of things a little bit different, let me know. If you just want to bash me in the comments, go ahead. But that's the truth, guys. Everything has a time and a place. It's just a matter of when. I'll see you guys next week.